first early game, our first late game. I'm sorry. And we can be quick with this one because there's not much to talk about here. You got a Cardinals team. They've never been playing for the playoffs this year. Let's keep it real. And then you have this Seattle team that comes in here 3-3. Are they 3-3? Yeah, they're 3-3. And you know what? This team, to me, they're not good. I'm sorry. Geno Smith is not the answer. Geno Smith, another one, Jeff, 300 yards throwing, you lose. And you supply me with 13 points? Just look at how many yards these guys threw for. And literally, in every loss, none of them got to 20 points. How do you throw for 300 yards and you don't supply your team with 20 points? Like 30 years ago, if you threw for 300 yards, there's no way you didn't score 30 points that day. Like, or at least 28. What type of NFL are we in now? Literally, we're just doing stats. Literally, you're a stat monster, but you still didn't supply me any points. Geno Smith is a disservice to those great receivers. Seattle, to me, has the best wide receiver core in the league, pound for pound. You got JSN, you got Lockett, you got DK Metcalf. Then you got two stellar running backs in the backfield. The offensive line, yep, that is the biggest issue for this team. But at the end of the day, Geno Smith, you're playing like a backup. You're playing like a guy that's waiting for the starter to take their job back, in my opinion. And I truly do think if Pete Carroll wants to make the playoffs, because I don't see them as a playoff team. I see them as a 8-9, 9-8 team this season. And if they truly want to make the playoffs and make a move into the playoffs, they got to go with Drew Lock. They got to go get Drew Lock. Like, seriously, just let the young kid play because he was starting in Denver. Okay, and Denver was still kind of in the playoff mix with him when he was starting at quarterback. You remember that, Jeff? And then you're going to tell me Geno Smith is better? Geno Smith is a backup. Let him be a backup. I know that he had a great story last year. He took advantage of having a great DK Metcalf and Lockett. But that doesn't warrant you to give him any money. That doesn't warrant you to say that he's a starting quarterback in this league because he had 4 good games. No, you go get yourself a quarterback. And I'm glad that they didn't go crazy and just draft anybody. But they should have went and got Jake Haener, Jeff. Jake Haener, who plays for the Saints now, who's eventually going to be the starting quarterback by the time Dennis Allen realizes that if he wants to keep his job, he's going to have to bench Derek Carr. So with that, I already said I was going to be quick. Cardinals, the scrappiest team in the NFL. I know that they didn't cover last week, but that's okay. This team is still the best first half team in the NFL. I think them being the best first half team in the NFL warrants me to go ahead and take them this week to cover in this game. And you know what, Jeff? I'm going to keep it real with you. Just because I don't trust Geno Smith, the Cardinals could actually win this game because that's something that they do like to do every time they go to Seattle. So what are your thoughts?
Excuse me. The Geno Smith thought process very simply is Pete and the Seahawks took a big gamble, and Russ sent packing, and in comes Geno Smith. And not only Seattle last year preseason was the team pick. Their under over was 4.5. That's how bad they were expected. Not only did they prove us wrong, they did go to the playoffs. I remember watching the first game opening day at home. They had a 13-10 lead at halftime against the Rams, and then the Rams outscored them like 24-0 in the second half, whatever the number was. My point is they've been a Jekyll and Hyde team, and I think Pete forgets how to win or how he used to win. That's running the game. You got a healthy Kenneth Walker. You got a healthy Charbonnet. Yes, you have 3 strong wide receivers on the outside. You have a pretty decent tight end with Noah Fant as well. And the Legion of Boom is kind of sort of back there, but you got it caught up with, whatever Joe does, Geno can do better. I will tell you this. I'm still alive in the survivor picks. Unfortunately, the whole world and maybe myself will be on Seattle this week, just beating up on an Arizona team that's pesky. They come, they play hard. And so I took the Cardinals. We bought the hook. We got the Cards +8. I haven't put my pick in yet. I'm trying to get cute and clever to say, can I, if I do know that Lawrence is out, do I have enough cojones to take the Saints on Thursday and then root for the Cardinals? But we'll see, because I even looked at next week. These games are getting so tough, Pops. I mean, 1 in pick'ems and 2-point favorites. So give me the Cards +8, and we'll figure this one out.
And funny thing was, all my numbers, I got my numbers out late, but all my numbers pretty much matched up with this week's numbers. But there were some spots where I was like, we're doing a bit too much. I had one where I went from they had another team as a 2.5-point favorite, but I put the other team as a 2.5-point favorite for that one. And that's just like, because I know that you guys, I kind of, the way I set my odds up is the way I feel like it will be 5 minutes before we get the kickoff, because I just know how these numbers are going to work. And that's just sometimes when I see a team that should be the favorite, but they make the other team the favorite, that's always your best dog right there. That's always your best dog right there, because pretty much they don't believe in this team, or they might not be looking at it the same way that you're looking at it. But we know it's always about getting that money, man. It's always about getting that money. So we're going to skip